Okay, so we're gonna have another series of guided meditation, uh, utilizing the Tummo, which I think is one of the very powerful meditation, and it gives you a glimpse of within. And as you go within, the whole ideologies that you've been holding, it changes. The inner atmosphere is so different that you get lost, and then you're trying to bring the sansar back in, which is already there, and you're trying to deal with, sort it out, what else is there, but you still get lost in the sansar, which is hidden in your mind, and it becomes frustrating at times. That's why doing a guided meditation like Tummo and applying the awareness, keeping the awareness alive throughout the guided meditation is very important. And then the separation starts happening between the awareness and what you are aware of. You may be aware of your thoughts, you may be aware of your ideas, you may be aware of your beliefs, and everything that you like, dislike, hated about the sansar, everything is there, and you are aware that it's there. This awareness is the key to separate the awareness itself from what you're aware of. And ultimately, it puts you in the lap of awareness. When you actually start accepting the existence of an entity called awareness, you start becoming aware of the awareness. And that's when the whole play starts, when you start separating from sansar, at least within in the beginning. And then little by little, it becomes a routine. As you go deeper, you reach to a thoughtless state, which is the state of full awareness. When the awareness becomes your inner light, and which kind of magnifies and illuminates the internal structure of your mind and your convictions and everything that you're dealing with day-to-day activities, and all the vrittis and vasanas that you have built up and which are causing a lot of suffering in your life. So today we're gonna start going further in. And last lecture, we really discussed the experiencing the aware, the experiencing the Advait. Advait is a state which is the only thing that really survives. The meditation is not just a meditation, it's an inner reflection, inner contemplation, and actually realization what is right from what is not right. So as you go further in, we talked about how the awareness survives. Everything else perishes. You as a child, 5-year-old, you perished, you become 6-year-old, and then that perished, then become 10-year-old. Everything happening, but you were not aware of it. You lived your life in unawareness all these years, and only through the meditation you start becoming aware of what really happened. And this awareness starts separating itself, and you realize that ultimately everything that came in life went away, including the life itself, which is slipping away as we speak. The time and the space are continuously ebbing away your current life that you enjoy without knowing the existence of something else, which is the awareness. So the awareness is the one that ultimately proves to be the truth. And like we talked about, there cannot be two truths. So one has to become untruth. When you start going deep within and you start experiencing the awareness, starts becoming the truth because it's unchangeable. Awareness is spirit. It cannot change. So the same awareness you had when you were 5-year-old, you still have the same awareness when you are right now. So the awareness does not change because it doesn't have a form. It is not a matter. It's a spirit. So it cannot change. So you realize that truth survives. And whatever was perishing was the untruth. But then how do you really reconcile? Did the sansar came from outside? Did all these vrittis and vasanas came from outside? But no. What your vrittis and vasanas and your thoughts and your beliefs and your ideologies and all these things are nothing but modified awareness. When the awareness remains aware of itself, it remains unmodified. But as soon as it starts approaching outside object or a person or a situation, What happens is that object or a person or a situation doesn't really come into your head. You may have $1 million in your bank account, but they don't actually enter in your brain. What enters in the brain is your knowledge that, okay, I have $1 million. Or the smell, the rose that you smell, it doesn't come into your body. It just remembers that smelling the rose. So all these memories are nothing but modified consciousness. Your consciousness, the awareness, this gets modified along with your experiences that you experience in life. So as you go deeper, you realize that the vrittis and vasanas did not really come from outside. You created your own vrittis and vasanas. And how do we create vrittis and vasanas? Only by not being aware of this awareness. The whole mechanism, how it is taking place, it can be realized only by internal reflection. And that's what we've been doing. So in the last session, we realized that ultimately the awareness survives, and whatever else was there before were just modifications. Just like at night you sleep and you have dreams. Dreams are nothing but modifications of your own mental energy. You create them, but then they also dissolve. So dreams are dreams. They are not true, but you are true as compared to the dreams. So the hyper super consciousness, the really realization, deeper awareness of the awareness itself, it's a next level of consciousness that we need to rise to. Just the way we wake up from a dream, we wake up from a sleep and we realize the dream wasn't there at all. It's easy. We wake up every day and we know that that whole thing was just nothing but a joke. So we just have to realize this while we are alive, so that this awareness can predominantly control and at least change our behavior, how we're dealing with this sansar. This knowledge that ultimately everything is nothing but the consciousness. Your thoughts of hatred are also consciousness. Your thoughts of love is also consciousness. Whether you like something or dislike something, you hate something, you all your desires, everything was nothing but modified consciousness. Just the way a rainbow has 7 colors, but they all come from a single source, the pure white light. And the same way we have to start realizing, looking at the life, then only you realize that there is nothing but Advait everywhere. Dvait is the duality that we see as a part of our unconscious state. But at consciousness level, if you start settling down at the consciousness level, you see the whole world as nothing but consciousness. So that's what we experienced consciousness last time by going through various chakras. Now we're gonna apply this knowledge into our what we actually did while we were going through this past percentage of life, past portion of our life, when we were not aware of this Advait state. And now, if we are aware of the Advait state, how are we going to live our life? So that's actually living the Advait state is a one step further. When your conviction has become so strong that Advait is the only truth and nothing else is the truth. So mind is untruth. Mind, why is it untruth? Because it fantasizes. Mind always looks at the future. Mind always looks at the past. It fantasizes that, yes, I will be able to achieve this. I will be able to make money. I'll be able to become rich. I'll be more smart. All these are future activities that the mind is doing, but not all of them become realities. So that's why those are fantasies. But awareness is here right now. We are the awareness. In the present state, the awareness is there. The awareness does not include any fantasies, any illusions. It is the truth itself. But with little practice, with repetitive meditation, one can start settling down in the awareness itself. And then that starts expanding, and you start realizing that mind is nothing but really takes you into this unknown territories for which we build up the big castles, and then a lot of them don't get fulfilled. Frustration comes in. We get attached to a lot of people. That doesn't happen. people leave and we get frustrated. So all these are the game of sansara, which is full of suffering. But at awareness level, where there is nothing but Advait state, there is peace, tranquility. So that's what we went through last session. So let's start the Tummo meditation again. We're gonna have a forefinger and the thumb resting comfortably on the thighs and on the Vajrasana. And again, we know the routine. We have to take a deep breath and we have to hold it and push it down while raising the rectal muscles. And we go through various chakras. And then we contract the whole body, hold it as long as you can, and we release. At that time, what you do is not as much important as how much awareness you utilize. So close your eyes and we will start. Take a deep breath, hold it, push it down, rectal muscles up, concentrating on Muladhara, end of the spinal cord, and with a little fire burning. Hold it as long as you can. And release. As you release, watch the blood flow. The most important thing is every subtle thing that is happening within you, you just remain aware of it. Observe it. Without describing it, without getting involved in it, just remain detached. As a witness, just watch it. Take a deep breath. When you hold your breath, keep your head down to lock the prana. Do it again. All the muscles of the body should be contracted along with the rectal muscles. And then that generates the heat and the energy that flows, which flows upwards. Energy is light. It's pointing towards your Sahasrara, the highest chakra of all. We'll go to Sahasrara. Take a deep breath. And relax. Sahasrara is forefinger below the navel. The fire is rising. The sansar is about expansion. When we were born in this sansar, we brought in a lot of vrittis and vasanas, our innermost desires, which were hidden. But we needed a footing. So Muladhara establishes you, connects you to the earth and other elements of the sansar, the air, the fire, the water, the wind. Everything contributes to settle you in this sansar. And as you keep getting bigger, as you're getting older, your vrittis and vasanas start taking shape. Now you're looking around, utilizing the time and resources which are available. You try to express your vrittis and vasanas. Whatever your likes and dislikes is going to manifest now. You're going to start running towards the things that you like and away from the things that you don't like. This is where everybody starts differentiating. Different goals, different objectives, different methods. And this is where the differentiation takes place. Take a deep breath. And relax. Watch the flow. Remain steady, keeping the eyes closed. Observe everything. Take a deep breath. And relax. Feel the heat. This is where you are running after your objects of pleasure, whether they are objects or people or situations. You are lost in your goals. You believe that you are the body, and this body you're utilizing to run and meet your desired goals. You have nothing else in your mind other than those goals. Goals are future. You are living in future. All the obstructions that come along the way, you fight them. You try to win over them. And when you are successful, your ego goes up. You feel that you achieved something. And when you lose, you get frustrated, defeated, depressed. Somebody proves better than you, then you feel inferior. You feel you prove to be better than others, you feel superior. All this game of dualities we've been playing all along. But what about the awareness? We never know anything about awareness because we are lost, we are blinded, we are in unconscious state. The awareness has never left us. Whenever we wanted to smell the rose and we really liked that experience, we held on to it. It became the rose for us. The rose that we are holding on to in our mind is also modified consciousness. Our superiority complex is also modified awareness. Inferiority complex, hatred, anger, greed, desires, all these are modified consciousness. That's why Patanjali says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirod. All these vrittis and vasanas, we have to destroy them. There is nothing to destroy. There is something to understand it. There is something to rationalize it and realize this, reflect on it, that this is nothing but the same consciousness which has taken different shapes and sizes and colors and everything, just like the colors of the rainbow. They all will merge into one consciousness. All these vrittis and vasanas came from unmodified, primordial, infinite consciousness, which is within us. That's the awareness. Even when we were wanted to connect with our objects of pleasure, the awareness was needed to connect us to that object. Without the awareness, we wouldn't even have been able to. But we didn't even know about awareness because we didn't even care to know. Our goals were the most supreme for us. So awareness is everywhere. It's universal. We are bathing in the ocean of consciousness and we don't even know. Like I always say, the ant which is running, it knows where it's going. It is connecting to its food source, utilizing the awareness. But when it comes to awareness, we are no different than the ant. Ant also is not aware that it is using the awareness, and neither are we at this point. Take a deep breath. Relax. The fire has gone up to Swadhisthana. Now we go higher to Manipur chakra, which is located in between the rib cages. Manipur is where the energy takes place, consumption of the food and the prana gets assimilated and it gets distributed throughout the body. To utilize this body and the mind behind all that prana is required to make this body move to reach to the goals, desired goals. Manipur, extremely important for our survival. Take a deep breath. And relax. Keep your eyes closed. Stay focused. At this point, we still believe we are the body. We have no idea. The surprise is beyond our imagination, literally, because mind is what's controlling our life, and mind is blind. The awareness which is located behind the mind doesn't even know anything about it. Mind thinks that it is the supreme, it controls everything. And how foolish it is. Without the awareness, none of these thoughts even will exist. Thoughts are nothing but modified awareness. That constitutes the mind. Mind is bundle of thoughts. Take a deep breath. Fire has risen to the Manipur. Take a deep breath. Release. Watch the flow of the energy. Watch its rising higher to Sasar. We go to Anahat, still living your life as your belief that you are the body. And we have no idea that body is also consciousness. E equal to mc square. All the bodies merge into the same energy. And this energy is a part of the consciousness. Its ability to impart this energy into the mass. That is Sat. Chit is the awareness. And Anand is what is located within. It is the nature of the consciousness, which we are not aware of it. We have chosen to ignore the awareness. And we are exploring what else can I have from this sansar. And you build up your sansar with the imagination, which you believe that you are the body, never realizing that it is only a belief, which is also modified consciousness in the wrong direction. Take a deep breath. Relax. Anahat is the heart center where you connect with your objects of pleasure, people, situation. You have likes and dislikes, and you start becoming more magnanimous. You impart your love and affection to everyone that you know and love. You expand, you start becoming less important than, say, your children, than, say, your spouse, than your friends. You give, you start giving, you overflowing. We have no idea, but we are approaching to the higher centers at this point without our knowledge. Take a deep breath. Relax. Feel the vibrations, feel the energy, feel the blood flow. Most important thing is the awareness. Without awareness, you won't be able to perceive any of these things. And what you can perceive, you are not that. What you can see, you can touch, you can smell, is not you. Same thing, the inner awareness starts separating your body, your thoughts, your mind as a separate entity. This is the way to rise higher into the higher state. Take a deep breath. Fire has risen to Anahat, the body at the chest level abdomen, legs, everything is burning. It's generating the heat and the energy that is flowing, rising higher. Next is Vishuddha at the neck level. Take a deep breath. Vishuddha chakra is where your intuition starts coming. There is something wrong. All this running around, I'm doing, what am I doing with it? What is my final goal of life? I'm running after money. Why am I running after money? Money was supposed to make me happy. Am I happy now? Or I'm just running because that's all I know? I'm running after fame. I already became famous. What else? Where else can I go to get more? There is nowhere to go. Why am I running after something that did not even make me happy? I'm still running. This running has to stop because running is making me tired. All these issues which are facing right in front of me, the anxieties of the future, I'm always worried what's going to happen next to my financial situation, to my wife, to my children, to my parents. What's going to happen? I'm always worried. And I have a lot of regrets. I made the mistakes. I could have done this. I could have done this. Why am I suffering? Is this the path that I should be taking? This is where your inner voice starts rising. Some message comes from the consciousness that there is an entity that's calling you. That's your intuition. Take a deep breath. You are still suffering in the river of samsara, but now you have started getting a glimpse of a little light that's coming from within, and it starts becoming brighter, and it's telling you there is another world that you can live in, another place which you can be at, where there is peace, quiet, and the reason for your suffering is you. Your unconscious state is the reason for your suffering. It's time to become conscious. We spent decades to even come to this point. Buddha got this state in one day. One day of Nagarcharya, he went out, saw the four important events in his life, and he decided he got the taste of the whole samsara in one day. He got the idea, he got the message that samsara is not worth it, and he left to search for the truth. And he imparted this knowledge to us, the existence of this inner consciousness, the highest state of wisdom. Wisdom is considered wisdom only when illusions are realized, when foolishness is realized, to running after the objects of pleasures which never come. And even if they come, you lose the interest in them, then you run again. This running and running is the foolishness. This running gets realized only if you become restful. Only when you're resting, you realize running was a mistake. Running, maybe it was necessary for you to learn the sufferings of running in samsara. Take a deep breath. If suffering becomes the pathway towards the enlightenment, then it's not suffering. It was a step, a necessary step that you took. Take a deep breath. Realizing the way out Now you're starting your journey. You're rising to the Agnya Chakra. You're getting established in this state of awareness which you were never aware of. What a sad situation that you were not even aware of the awareness which made you aware of the whole world. But now it is time to settle down. Agnya Chakra is where awareness becomes the reality. You settle down in this formless existence, and now you're realizing the mistakes that you had been doing. All the sufferings were your mistake. Sansar is not a mistake. Sansar is always the same. Your take on the sansar was wrong. Your attachment to the sansar was wrong. Your fear of sansar was wrong. Your superiority complex was wrong. Your ego was wrong. Mad, moh, krodh, maya were wrong. So all these wrongs were within you. Don't blame the sansar. Sansar is what it is. Just your vision of looking at it was different, which we are correcting now through the awareness. Take a deep breath. The fire has risen to the Agnya Chakra. Whole body almost is at the fire. All the chakras we have realized where our mistake was. Our mistake was we were not aware of our Advait state. When we had exhibited mud, our ego, superiority complex, when we proved ourselves better than the others, we never realized that we and them were the same modified consciousness. We were children of the same consciousness. What is inferior? What is superior? But we were intoxicated with our superiority complex, and we did not know the state of Advait. That was our mistake, but now you have realized that was our mistake. Moh, when we were getting attached to the objects of pleasure, which was also nothing but the consciousness. But we were lured by the physical characteristics of a girl and we got crazy. We got attached to the fame that so many people following me. We were running after it. We were never realizing that there is nothing like up or down. There is nothing like gain or loss. Everything is consciousness. Consciousness is homogeneous, but our mind is heterogeneous. And that's why we suffer. We believe there is something like coming number one and coming last in the class. We were suffering when we came last, or even number two, or number five, or even number one. We were elated and happy, but that was also suffering because we were not aware of the Advait state. So all these competitions, racing, greed, sufferings, all now we are starting realizing are not necessary because everything is nothing but Advait, the state of consciousness. Take a deep breath. Relax. Total control of all the other centers is at Agnya Chakra. Take a deep breath. Relax. Now the consciousness, the awareness is becoming the reality. All your negativities in your mind were not imported from outside. They were all your own creations under the illusion that sansar is real, that your body is real. That was your belief. And the belief is a modification also. Same way you believe that you are the body, only with the divine consciousness, you can wash off that belief and you realize that there is nothing like separateness. It's all one homogeneous consciousness manifesting in different forms. The seed is consciousness, The seedling is consciousness, plant is consciousness, the tree is consciousness, the sunlight is consciousness, the water is consciousness, air is consciousness. All these divisions are in the part of the mind, but consciousness is bathing everything. Take a deep breath. Having established in the Advait state, we rise higher to Sahasrara chakra, all the way above the crown. We got out of the body. The awareness is only standing by itself. It is aware of the body, aware of its sufferings, aware of the mind. All these things have become the past, including the body. Now, the only reality is the state of Advait, which is expansive, which is all over, which is peaceful, quiet, and tranquil, because there is absence of suffering. That's what Buddha said. I cannot promise you the happiness, but I will promise you the absence of suffering. Same thing Jesus said, there is a kingdom of heaven within you, and only the one who becomes innocent like a child will be allowed to enter. The innocence comes with the consciousness, because consciousness is innocent. It doesn't have a tricky mind to, to cheat someone, fool someone, subdue someone, hate someone, greed. All these characteristics that you grew up with are gone, and you become innocent like a child again, because you have realized that is not the path of sansar, is not the path. So the path is where the consciousness is. This is the same state of Advait, same state of Sthita Prajna state of Krishna, Samatva of Mahavir, and Buddhatva of Buddha. Just different names, same steady state. And now, at this state, you're going to be living your rest of your life by learning from your mistakes. Mad, Moh, Krodh, Maya will become non-existent. You will not be differentiating yourself as higher or lower. You will not have superiority complex, and you will not have inferiority complex either. You will not differentiate between black, white. You will not differentiate between rich, poor, beautiful, ugly, nothing. No differentiation. That is the state of samatva. That is the state of Advait. You will not be carried away into the looks and promises of the objects of pleasures, whether it's a person or an object or a situation. The more you get attached to it, more frustrations are going to come. How you suffered in your life, your dear friend from your childhood, he moves to some other state, you're broken. Your parents leave this world, you get broken. More attachments mean more suffering, but you're not going to be attached. You're going to be looking at the sansar as a witness from the state of Advait. Growth is disappearing, because why would you want to get angry? Because the rest of the world is not behaving the way you want it to behave? Is that why you're angry? But what does the state of consciousness makes you realize? The state of consciousness is the state of freedom from this suffering. And everyone has a right to achieve and reach to this state of freedom. So what are you getting angry about? Just because you don't like it, that's your ego. You drop the ego and the peace comes. Peace, tranquility, equality, benevolence, philanthropy, all these things come. Non-violence comes. That little ant has the same right as you have to live and survive. Non-violence comes. All these are the byproducts of the state of samatva. And Maya, why would you want to cheat someone? To achieve what? Whatever you're going to achieve is also consciousness. Whatever you lose and it did not achieve is also consciousness. Now your eyes are not on gains and losses, not on becoming popular, fame, money, nothing. You will still live the life with enjoyment, knowing that this life that I call life is something also gonna disappear. Just the way all the things that I ran after, they are disappearing one by one, including this life that I call life may also disappear. But there is permanence. There is permanence in this awareness, which never changes. It can witness even the death that comes. Whenever it comes, it will be still fine because now you have secured a new place in the state of Advait, where changes keep on happening, but they are part of Advait. Advait does not change. Dvait changes. Just the way your dreams changed in your night, at night when you were sleeping, a lot of things change, but you didn't change. Advait does not change. Everything is part of the same Advait, infinite, omnipotent, omnipresent consciousness. Stay in this state, live in this state, and enjoy the rest of your life in freedom. Freedom from attachments, freedom from anxieties, freedom from depressions, freedom from attachment to anything, and freedom from anger, and live in peace and quiet. This is the message of Advait, living in Advait. So much for today. Thank you.